Hello everyone, soon there will be another UFC tournament where in the main event the tough knockout veteran Josh Emmett will face the young prospect Kevin Vallejos. The card is very weak, but I found some fights that are worth breaking down. And we will start with the heavyweights, Vitor Petrino versus Steven Asplund. It is a very interesting fight. Vitor Petrino is a cool, wide, powerful fighter who started very confidently in the light heavyweight division and performed successfully. But as the level of opposition increased, he began alternating wins and losses. Last year, he moved up to heavyweight, became stronger, and has already scored 2 early victories. His opponent is Steven Asplund, who lost 120 kilograms and started competing at the professional level. He had one fight in the UFC, and in a bloody battle he defeated Sean Sharaf, inflicting terrifying cuts on his opponent. Honestly, I wouldn't have matched these two interesting, young and media-friendly fighters against each other, especially in the prelims. But considering the current situation, I'm picking Petrino to win, mainly because of his experience. The next fight is Mikhtik Orolbai vs Chris Curtis. This is also a prelim fight which in my opinion is much more interesting than any other fight of this card. Veteran Chris recently dropped down to the welterweight division and not without problems defeated Max Griffin. Now his opponent is Mikhtik Orolbai, who also changed his weight class and moved up to welterweight, where he looked much more confident, brutally knocking out Jack Hermanson. Mikhtik Orolbai is a very dangerous fighter, and in my opinion, Chris Curtis doesn't have a single chance in this fight. Not in striking and especially not in grappling. I'm very confident in Orolbai and I'm picking him to win by a finish. And in my opinion, after the victory, he will deserve a fight with a top 15 fighter. And finally, let's talk about the main event, Josh Emmett versus Kevin Vallejos. What surprised me is that Emmett is a crazy big underdog. Of course, I agree that he will most likely lose, but being such a big underdog is probably too much. His opponent is the strong and young prospect Vallejos, who knocked out Giga Chikadze in his previous fight. It's a very interesting fight. Of course, Vallejos is better in almost everything, and my pick will also be Vallejos, either by decision or by TKO in the later rounds. But we can't forget the kind of overhand Emmett has, which can instantly shut down any opponent. However, in my opinion, the technical and younger Vallejos will be able to protect himself from those shots. My pick is Vallejos. That's all for today, guys. After the tournament, I will make a review of the fights that took place. I also want to remind you that I have a dream to become famous in the UFC, and that's why the support of every viewer is important to me. Now you will see my predictions for the entire tournament. Thank you for watching and have a good day.